So I caught the itch to once again talk, inevitably way too much, about another game series of some personal interest, enjoyment, or confused morbid curiosity to myself. So far we've explored the Jurassic Park and Alien series of games, but for this retrospective I originally had two ideas in mind, and both were taking a much more in-depth approach than the previous videos. The first of these two project ideas, though I did start on it earlier on in the year, was turning out way too big, so I decided to save it for next time. But then, following a particular reveal from Capcom at this year's E3, a resurfacing of certain rumours, and a little bit of encouragement from Sam, who just happened to play this particular game for the first time this year, I suddenly decided this was the perfect opportunity to talk about what was originally my backup idea. The long time absent, criminally underrated, other 90s Capcom survival horror series, Dino Crisis. And apologies in advance, by the way, these retrospectives always end up being insanely long, but shouldn't be too bad this time. There was only ever two of these games. Oh. Oh. Yeah, this might be worse than I thought.
You were almost a Jill sandwich.
There's a pretty common statement when it comes to Dino Crisis that's really been around since its very first reviews back in 1999. And that's, it's just Resident Evil with dinosaurs. And I mean, sure, okay, on a superficial level, I get it. It's a fixed camera survival horror game with puzzles, an enclosed claustrophobic environment, door loading screens, keys, backtracking, and of course explicit violence and gore. But in many ways, this statement denigrates what is a very special and in many ways unique game. There's a lot going on here technically and mechanically that elevates it beyond its better known zombie themed cousin. Fully rendered 3D environments, dynamic camera movements, attempts at more advanced AI, this is much more than just an RE clone. It shouldn't be anyone's surprise then that much of the same production team from the original two Resident Evil games were behind this, including the director and producer Shinji Mikami. Now, prior to 1985, survival horror as a genre didn't exist, or at least it hadn't been named that yet, but it would be invented specifically for the marketing of Capcom's newest game, Resident Evil, released in 1996. Shinji Mikami was tasked with crafting the game, intended as a remake of the 1989 top-down RPG Sweet Home, though Capcom would lose the license to the name during production, leading to the rebrand. Arguably then, this Sweet Home marked the start of the survival horror genre. However, Capcom found further inspiration from another early contender for such a title, in 1992's Alone in the Dark, whose fixed camera angles and the claustrophobic feel they created steered Resident Evil away from the planned first-person shooter into what it's now known for. A little ironically considering Resident Evil 7, but basically all I'm getting at here is Resident Evil's just Alone in the Dark with with Barry Burton. Yeah. With the success of Resident Evil, Capcom Production Studio 4 would be assembled from much of the same team, just as groundwork for Resident Evil 1.5, what would become RE2, began. But it was around this time that Shu Takumi began pitching a new game, similar mechanics but moving away from the zombies and monsters of Resident Evil. This survival game was to be set in a jungle environment featuring real-world animals such as gorillas and snakes as enemies. Though development never really took off until the Resident Evil sequel was finished, once the team did return to this new IP, it was Shinji Mikami who made the great suggestion of, let's make it a fucking dinosaur game. Dinosaurs are cool. And so, both men would go on to write the story of this new game, about a team of agents sent to retrieve a rogue scientist conducting illegal research into a new and unsustainable energy source. However, Takumi, who by his own admission couldn't tell the difference between a raptor and a T-Rex, was ultimately replaced by Mikami as director. Either way, in July 1999, the game was finally launched. And on that, let's take a look at Dino Crisis 1.
Once you hit the ground, head straight to the designated convergence point.
The game opens with a prologue in the form of a mission report from one of our own agents, who's infiltrated this military island research base belonging to unspecified enemy nation. For reference, the country's apparently called Borgania. Not relevant, I just like it. We're briefed, briefly, on Third Energy, its inventor, the previously thought dead Dr. Kirk, as well as some shady probable weapons program. Then cut to cinematic, which I shall deduct points for not being live action.
Joseph!
Here we're introduced to our main characters for the game. Gale, Rick, and our protagonist.
What about Cooper?
Forget him. Time's up.
I will talk more about Regina, but I'll just say now, I really like this character. And no, not just cause that fluorescent pink hair and thick grenade launcher, but anyway, never mind that, because we gotta watch Cooper get eaten. Lovely. Having arrived at the seemingly abandoned complex, our first job is to bring on the power. It's a very quiet opening, searching the handful of areas open to us for clues, keys, while also using this time to give us an idea of who our comrades are. Gale's the hard-ass, Rick's the joker, that's about all we need to know. After finding a key to the yard area, we stumble across a disemboweled corpse, and Regina has a reaction.
That's disgusting.
Then we head inside to bring on the power. Okay, I can't let this go. One of two things just happened here. Either the voice actress just walked into the booth that day of recording, no context or direction given, and just read the words on the script, leading to this very understated delivery. Okay, feasible enough, or here's my alternative. Regina's a sociopath. I don't mean all out, she clearly on some intellectual level cares about the safety of her comrades at least, but I don't know, there's just something about her. It's early in the game yet, but I'm just calling it now. Totally desensitized to gratuitous violence.
Huh, we're not the only ones having problems.
Anyway, after a quick puzzle to get the batteries in the right order, we get the power on. I'm sure it's nothing. Now god damn, that's an introduction. So, as with any dinosaur media post-Jurassic Park, raptors act as our standard enemy foot soldier. Yet despite this, at all times throughout the game, even a single raptor poses a serious and intimidating threat. While they're unlikely to kill you one-on-one if you're on full health, enemies in this game can knock your weapon out your hand, push you off your feet, or inflict bleed damage that not only harms over time, but actually lures dinosaurs to your location as you wander from room to room. I just want to give credit to how fearsome they managed to make what is essentially still the lowest tier enemy in the game. It might also be here you actually realise that there's no health bar, no heart monitor, not even a boob tattoo. The only indication of Regina's condition is if she's hobbling or trailing blood, that sort of thing. And this is great. Being denied any straightforward, this is how far you are from death meter adds to the tension and makes health item management a little less video gamey. I don't know, it's unconventional, but I approve.
You're not gonna believe this. He was attacked by some kind of dinosaur.
Dinosaur.
Okay, let me just get this out of my system now.
Was a real dinosaur.
Dinosaurs.
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 Right. So that's how those
Dinosaurs.
appeared in our time.
Dinosaur.
Dinosaur.
You said that he was attacked by a dinosaur?
So having lost Gale, we enter the facility proper to meet up with Rick. And it's here you realise how quiet the game was until now, having had no music outside the intro cinematics and the raptor attack. And while we're talking about sound, let's talk voice acting. This is a 90s Capcom Japanese to English game, so, you know, take that for what you will. But with that said, it's really not that bad.
What we ought to do is just call in the chopper and get off this death trap.
That's a great idea, but Cooper has the radio, and he's missing.
Stephanie Morgenstern voices Regina, and sure, some of the reads can be, you know, questionable.
That's disgusting.
But on the whole, I'd say it's a solid performance for a game of this era. And besides, you have to remember, it could have been worse.
A lot worse.
Stop it! Don't open that door!
But Barry, didn't you say you're going back to the dining room to do some research?
Chris is our old partner, you know. Wesker!
What is it?
Blood.
While I continue to look for clues, let's talk about the gameplay itself. Capcom described this as a panic horror. Now, what exactly that means beyond being another marketing ploy to distinguish itself from Resident Evil's survival horror, I don't know, but either way, it's a survival game in practice. Ammunition and health is pretty limited, a scary enough prospect considering the enemies are not. Pro tip, yes, you can start the game with a grenade launcher. Yes, this makes dealing with all the early game raptors easy, but there's also only like 20 rounds in the whole game, so good luck with the late game shit. There is an interesting mechanic where you can mix items to create or improve health packs. Alternatively, you can mix up tranquilizer darts of various strengths, which will actually sedate dinosaurs for a limited time. Again, adding another layer of strategy to a game where it pays to save ammo and avoid confrontation at every opportunity. On top of this, you can also make poison darts, which are rare, handy, one-shot kills. Unless you miss. In searching the areas not locked off to us, we find a couple key plates and 2 DDK discs marked H, which get us into the head researcher office. Yeah, the DDK system. That's a thing. These are probably the most recurring puzzles in the game, which start out as a basic letter elimination puzzle, but do get more complex later as letters get exchanged with numbers, and then number to lines, and then honestly I forget the actual methodology since I was just going by memory for all these answers. Except for this one. I've completed this game half a dozen times, but I just... What?
I have no memory of this place.
In the head office we find a survivor, and I want you to pay attention for a minute.
Are you from the rescue team?
Yes, I am. Do you know where I can find Dr. Kirk?
Do you see it now? First of all, her team are only here for the forcible extradition of Dr. Kirk off Bulgarian Republic soil, so rescue team was a flat out lie. But Regina's a professional. She knows someone's more likely to provide the information she needs if they trust her. Classic good cop routine.
Do you know where I can find Dr. Kirk?
Bringing the conversation right back to our own true objectives. No concern for his condition, just tell me what I need to know before you bleed out. See? Total sociopath. I mean, I still love her, but... Holy shit! Immediately after opening a safe with the key plates, Chompy Boy shows up, cornering us in the room. Now, we can fight him off long enough for him to eventually give up and fuck off, but I have a better idea. Just... squeeze... Yeah, there we go. I need to save ammo, thanks. Now with access to some more of the facility, we get our introduction to the personnel ID system. Pro tip 2, have a notepad. Another jump scare, and turns out Dale's alive! Yay! The two discuss the dinosaurs.
It's a dinosaur.
Dinosaur.
Sorry. And then they split up again. Between your fake death earlier and Rick being needed in the control room, I was being forgiving. But now you're doing the horror movie trope, Dino Crisis. Stop it.
Let's search for him separately.
Oh, don't you start, Barry! Back at the control room, we actually get the first of a number of branching choices in this game. Gale claims he saw a human on the CCTV of the lower level and wants to investigate. However, at the same time, we get a distress signal from outside the facility from somebody on our team. Meaning either the missing Cooper, yeah I doubt that, or the infiltrator from the start of the game, Tom. Drama ensues, but since I'm not a piece of shit, I obviously follow Rick's plan and make my way outside, very noticeably alone, to where the signal's coming from. Like seriously Rick, if you just wait 3 seconds, I'm right behind you, just slow down. Oh, okay, that's fine, just leave me to deal with these assholes. Oh? What's this? Flappy boys in any kind of fictional setting? Are they going to act in any way that's close to paleontologically accurate? Oh, of course not, flying B-movie monsters. They eat fish! These guys are a little annoying, but if you zigzag, you can avoid their attacks. Don't waste ammo. Ha! Take that, you factually inaccurate bastard. The branching paths intersect again as we bring Tom to a medical bay in the underground area where Gale was searching. Rick and Tom are attacked, leaving Tom dead. Kinda making that whole rescue mission a total waste of time. But at least Rick learned a valuable lesson of not splitting up in a horror situation. By the way, hope you still have your notepads, because remember those ID numbers from earlier? Yeah, now we need them. The main lobby to the underground area is blocked and we need the elevator access to continue. So now comes a pretty cool puzzle involving paging a specific person based on employee files, then finding whichever corpse is ringing so we can fingerprint him. This area is crawling with raptors, so you'd probably better have saved up on shotgun rounds up to this point. Depending on the next story branch though, you don't actually have to come back this way, so this could be a perfect time to use some tranquilizer darts. After some investigative rigmarole, we find Dr. Kirk's private lab, but trigger an alarm that seals us in. We unlock the room from a circuit breaker, beginning an escape plan to get to the surface. The choices being fight our way back, or hack a terminal in Kirk's lab to access an escape hatch. We're playing to save ammo, so we'll go with that one. It's literally just a memory game, so have that notepad ready. Whichever way we do it, our escape catches us up to the man we came here for. The elusive Dr. Kirk.
No, they can't do this to me! They deserted me 3 years ago and now they want me back? This is preposterous!
Oh good lord, it's Hayden Christensen.
It's all Obi-Wan's fault. He's holding me back!
Christ, this guy's insufferable. It really doesn't help his voice acting isn't great.
You can't do this! I have rights!
Gale takes him into custody, but also drops a line about unfinished business. Okay, I'm choosing to ignore that. Time to call for evac. While we were running off to the communication room, I gotta once again talk about the audio in this game. It really wasn't so bad during the earlier, quieter parts, but increasingly the audio mixing is just bad.
Then shoot me, you lame, flat-tongued, jar-headed...
Speak up, people! Christ! When we get to the radio tower to call in the chopper, we get one of the worst examples of this.
I'll give you the abridged version. Mission complete. Scrub the initial plans and pick us up at the heliport immediately.
What? Oh? Oh?
I'm a bit busy right now. Do something.
Oh! Shit! That's, actually my only death so far. Retcon! With the chopper en route, the music now kicks up as we race to the helipad. We get attacked by some more flappy boys with now broken ankles because body weight, but we're in the business of saving ammo, so zigzag away. No, I don't have time for you. Fuck off. You either. No places to be. It's not a problem, we're never coming back here, and the door is right around here. Quick crate pushing puzzle, and yes, I will take the grenade bullets. All the grenade bullets. We make it to the helipad. Huh. Could this be the end of the game?
You know, I had a really bad feeling about this mission.
No, of course not. Thanks, Rick. So, Kirk escapes, chopper destroyed, and now I have to play with the chompy boy until Rick can repair the bloody elevator. Gotta admit though, this has gotta be, visually speaking, the coolest moment of the fucking game. And from a technical standpoint, it's a great showcase of this game's fully 3D environment. The fire from the burning wreckage illuminating the area, the mobile dynamic camera positioned to only sometimes show you the wrecks in all its glory, giving you that horrible feeling of he's right on your tail. But as far as boss fights go, just run round in a circle. That's it. So the elevator breaks down and we end up stuck in this maintenance shaft while Rick repairs another one. And I actually don't know how to progress the first time in this playthrough. Well, while we're standing around, let's talk more about visuals. I haven't really been talking about the graphics too much so far because it's kind of a tricky subject in this instance. At the time of its release, this was regarded really well for its graphics. Now, I am playing the PS1 version of the game on a PS3, which in itself might have an effect on the appearance, but there was a Dreamcast and a PC release in 2000, and compared to mine, those versions are just way smoother. Maybe this would look much more as intended on a PS1 with a CRT monitor, but the PS3 does have an option for smoothing older games, so let's try it out. Oh, it's already on. Well, in the interest of science... Oh, no, revert! Ah, that's better. Anyway, back to the tunnel. I've got a gaggle of compies on my heels, but they're actually pretty shit at hitting the player, so kind of a non-concern. I found the pass card right away, but that hasn't triggered Rick to move his ass any faster. You're pushing me over the line, Ricky! Turns out, back in the room I'd already searched 3 times, you have to actually read a memo lying on the floor which mentions an underground port and a hovercraft. And now the elevator gets fixed.
You done yet?
What do you mean? Of course.
We now enter the last act of the game, as the elevator descends to level B3, home to all Steven's childhood nightmares. No, seriously, this part of the game always unnerved me the most, with a total design change to something which is much more high-tech and sci-fi compared to the office complex above. Oh no! A chunky boy! God fucking damn it, I always hated this bit. So, you know how I've been preaching ammo conservation all game? Don't waste grenades, blah blah blah. Yeah, these assholes are entirely the reason why. Bullet sponges who always come in pairs and can completely block routes in multiple areas around here. Honestly, sometimes it's worth just taking the damage to try run around one if it means saving rounds. They're not the fastest guys in the game, but their arms have an annoyingly long reach you need to be aware of. Speaking of which, anybody actually tell what species these are supposed to be? Seriously, I do know the answer, but I'm just wondering if anyone else can guess before I give it away. Because, you know, on the topic of inaccuracies, there is an Asaurus. You know, the big plant-eating Cretaceous equivalents to ground sloths. But whatever, in this case I actually kinda gotta give the game a pass. They were thought to be carnivores pretty much from their discovery in the 40s, right up until more complete specimens were found in the mid-90s. Whatever, if this game came out a few years before, it would have been considered accurate. Anyway, what were we doing? Oh yeah, we were looting the body of this violent sloth attack victim. We continue to explore more of the facility as we're trying to find both DZK keys to get to the port.
Gale!
Yeah. Well, at least Kirk's running out of places to hide.
Huh. Well, it wasn't the most awkward small talk I've seen.
Barry, thanks for saving my life.
Well, it's still no run and gun. This is definitely the most combat heavy area, seeing both increased numbers of dinosaurs and difficulty, not only with the chunky sloth boys, but upgraded variants of raptors.
That's disgusting.
Loot bodies, sprint back to the port. No. We throw Rick the key, open the door, and we're finally stuck. We're still fucking stuck. Timey-wimey wormhole bastard blocks the way, so back to exploring, I guess.
How did this happen? We're smarter than this.
Eventually we find a third energy reactor itself, but right now there's nothing we can do with it. But it is worth learning our way around it now and seeing what we need for it later. What? Hold it right there, you monkey! Come here! You can't escape me! I'll chase you to the ends of the earth!
Don't move.
And what do you think you're doing?
What are you doing there, buddy?
We get some Kirk's position about his experiment, how the military here wanted it for weapons, and how it has the capacity to warp space-time, or, in the instant that happened here, completely displace space-time, blah 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 dinosaurs. There, I basically summed up his entire monologue and spared you the pain of his cunt voice. Stop! Turns out only by deliberately overloading the generator can we neutralise the distortion blocking our escape. Though with the teeny tiny glaring chance of vaporising the entire island in the process. With Kirk's card we've got free reign of the rest of the area, but we've hit another crossroads. To start the generator we need those parts I mentioned, and there's two ways to go about it. recover the already assembled ones from a storage room, which just happens to put us through every damn chunky boy in the game, or yeah, we'll go with option B. Whatever it is, we'll go with option B. Following this plan, we need to recover the individual components for the two devices and assemble them ourselves. In retrospect, if you have the ammo, Gale's plan is probably a lot simpler because this was a fucking nightmare. Some of the worst backtracking, code-breaking, puzzle bullshit so far in the game. It starts off pretty cool, with one of the safes being cracked by listening to an audio recording from a hidden bug to figure out which keys were pressed. That's pretty smart, but then everything went downhill. Like I said, I've been keeping track of every code and password in this game so far, but now I'm just hitting roadblocks at every turn. If you split the numbers that you use when obtaining the core parts and add 0 to each of the split numbers, they will give you the pass numbers you'll need when obtaining the other 2 protective parts. I googled it. Oh yeah, almost forgot there were dinosaurs in this Dino game. You guys really have just kind of become more of an inconvenience these days than an actual threat. Okay, see ya. With all the bastard parts, we have to assemble the bastard devices, then shove them into the bastard generator, and now we can start it up. And obviously, everything goes to shit. We get it, you're a prick. So it might actually be possible to leave Gale behind here, but it gives you the cutscene, so you'd be kind of a dick not to, you know, just go next door and check on him.
Okay.
What is the point of all those push-ups if you can't even lift a bloody log?
With the route to the port now clear, we're good to go, but Gale, being Gale, is determined to go after Kirk. Again. And we're faced with what will be the final choice of the game. And it's here I should mention this game does have multiple endings based on the decisions we've been making so far. Now I've still got some surplus ammo, and Kirk has been pissing me off enough this run that I'm up for dragging his ass back to our nation. Who do we work for again?
We're representatives from your nation's government.
Belgium. Sure, why not? After using up almost all my remaining rounds, I catch up to Gale, who has Kirk cornered. But now we get the reveal that all this time Gale's been keeping from us.
It contains all the information on the third energy, including the details on how to use it as a weapon. Once we deliver this disc to our government, our real mission will be complete.
Stop it! Shut up. You're ruining the moment.
I don't understand, Gale. Why didn't you tell us?
I didn't want to put either of you in danger. What you didn't know couldn't hurt you.
Oh, Gale. After everything, you did sort of care. Good night, sweet prince.
And this is the reward for a lifetime of service to the government. Sad, isn't it?
I've had enough of your tabloid journalism.
Thank you! With Kirk in tow, we head out to the port. Alright, this was actually the ending I was hoping for. With the Rex now chasing our hovercraft. Not sure how much that makes sense, but fuck it. We'd head out to the deck for a final boss battle, where we fire 3 shots, then cinematic. This game really does know how to do boss battles, I feel. Huh. Well, that's great and all, but somehow it just doesn't feel right that this guy lives while old Pappy Gale dies. Fuck it, retcon. Alright, this time we just head straight for the hovercraft and get the fuck out. Wonder what the boss fight will be like this time. Oh shit! Again, it's nothing that involving, basically amounting to a quick time event, 2 or 3 hits, then cutscene. This time though, half the island gets vaporized, which is fun, and we sail off into the sunset, having not left anyone important behind. The end.
You can't do this. I have rights.
God damn, I loved replaying this game. The atmosphere is amazing, the gameplay challenging. I always had such great memories of this when I was younger, and it still holds up really well, even if it does have plenty hokey bullshit. Still, an amazing game. Oh, and apparently we unlocked some alternate costumes. Fuck it, let's try one of these out.
Stay here, Junior. Leave the guards to me.
No. Dino Crisis received generally critical praise upon release, and the game even expanded beyond its own boundaries. A secret alternate skin in this shortly after release Resident Evil Nemesis gave Jill Valentine a Regina makeover, and a 6-part manga was produced and released over the course of the following year, making Dino Crisis effectively a multimedia franchise. Even if this comic series only barely followed the events of the game, but whatever, I'll take Rick booping a Mosasaurus on the snoot any day. And, you know, any excuse for more Regina artwork? Steven's first waifu. Anyway, it was probably little surprise then for Capcom to have tried to capitalise on this success, with a sequel released only 14 months later. Dino Crisis 2. Maybe it's just my imagination, but I feel I can't seem to get away from talking about the bloody Alien movies. But just bear with me here on this point. The transition from Alien to Aliens just might be the quintessential sequel. My seeing similarities in other franchises, see me and Sam's run into the Jurassic Park movies, is just down to Aliens being a great template for the escalation kind of sequel. The, okay, we've seen the xenomorph, the dinosaurs, or in this case, also dinosaurs, now we need to see them in a bigger situation. Aliens versus the Marines, dinosaurs versus hunters, dinosaurs versus Marines. Anyway, you get the picture. The point is, horror movie becomes action movie. Survival horror game becomes a goddamn shooter. Dino Crisis 2 opens by explaining that research into third energy has continued under government control on a larger scale. Thanks, Gale. With a military base and even a dedicated city for researchers and their families being built around this project. Kinda think Pripyat to Chernobyl. And then keep thinking it, because just like Pripyat and Chernobyl, everything goes to shit, with the entire region, city included, displaced to another time following another accident. 5 months later, a rudimentary third energy time gate is completed, and a rescue operation for the thousands trapped in the Cretaceous goes underway. To be fair, 5 months ain't bad for accomplishing near-perfect time travel. I mean, it took Doc Brown, 27 years?
May 10th, 2010. I'm about to step through
I don't care, you silly-haired twunk. Where the hell's... There she is! After her previous experiences, Regina joins this rescue mission as an advisor to the the Tactical Reconnoitering... You sure? An acquisition team, also known as TRAT. And yeah, these TRATs last about as long as you'd expect. Oh yeah, and there's a cowboy.
Howdy.
Quick note, this isn't an issue with the game itself, just the age of my copy, but the cutscenes are kinda broken, with excessive stalls between cuts and dialogue constantly being chopped off at the end.
See ya, Mr. Barbarian.
Hey, the name's Dylan.
Can it, Barbary? So yeah, we play as Dylan Morton. Now if this was a horror situation, I'd scream at these two for immediately splitting up, but any facade of this being a horror is dispelled the moment we get into combat. Do I need to say anything? Do I? I think this is best put in a contrasting light. How often was I avoiding combat in the first game to either save ammo or avoid actual danger? And now here I am running on and off screen to deliberately force raptors to respawn for my combo! Gotta get that no damage bonus! Gotta accidentally force the game to spawn in those super raptors from the first one because I'm too good. While item pickups are still a thing, they're really just bonuses now, with points as currency system for an in-game shop being used instead. So where ammo was a constant concern in the first game, now just spend a few points recharging your gun, or better yet, just keep letting raptors respawn till you have enough for this thing. Trust me, once you have this, you might as well quit, you've peaked. So remember how we vaporized the island in the first game? Yeah, this is that weaponized, miniaturized, and sold for peanuts in the first save point of the game. Balance? Never heard of it! The standing projectiles don't hurt you, they're an insta-kill or at least a stun on everything else, and so long as you hold down shoot and don't stop moving, nothing can touch you! Nothing! Okay, maybe that. We run from the chompy boy for a bit until we get to a cutscene in which suddenly some Hotline Miami characters show up and try to murder you with frisbee guns. I googled frisbee gun immediately after I wrote this bit just to check I wasn't just imagining things. Yeah, they were actually a thing back in the day. I swear I had this exact one. Anyway, we get forced into a building, collect the Dino file hidden on the table. Yeah, this game has these hidden all over. They're actually kinda cool, providing some sometimes essential combat tips, as well as lore on all the different dinosaurs in the game. We find a medical bay, along with the save music from the first game, thank you, and a couple bodies. Now these skeletal remains have clearly been here a lot longer than just a few months, and reading a somewhat ominous journal entry kinda confirms this. Once again the day has come, January 14th. This is the day the third energy accident occurred and we were sent to this time. This is the 10th time this day has come, and every time I feel the same. Despair. Well, I bet you were fun at parties. We kinda fucked up, didn't we? Okay, well I said it was only near perfect time travel. What's a few years, decades, relative to the entirety of every when? Ah, fuck you! Fuck you too! You guys only ever time traveled accidentally. It's not impressive at all. We unlock a safe containing the key card for another area. Turns out, however, dumbass used the wrong key and the place locks us in. Kinda begs the question as to why the safe even opened if it was the wrong key. For that matter, dude, if you just ran as soon as the alarm started rather than just standing there like, what? Me? I tripped the alarm. Yeah, you could have easily made it out. You're not even trying.
Regina, I'm trapped. I'm at the military facility. I need your help. Over.
Did you swing your precious machete around? Well, I guess I can help you out. Over.
Yeah, so surprise, this game has two protagonists. So time to swap over to the competent one, and it's off to rescue the idiot. And we get some awesome music. I haven't actually mentioned this yet, but you've probably noticed the backgrounds are all once again pre-rendered, just like the original Resident Evils. Now this doesn't mean the backgrounds aren't beautiful, and actually I'd argue this game does look better than the first on the whole, but it's a trade-off with the loss of any dynamic camera movements. Jesus Christ, look at us go! I don't know what's happened in the year since our last mission, but you got some shit to work through, Regina. I mean, this is probably healthy. Machine gun therapy worked for Ripley's PTSD, so can't stop, won't stop. We're given an interesting showcase of both a boss fight and the practical use of those Dino files I mentioned earlier. Basically, for now, just don't. We come across some higher tier raptors, a vine-sealed door, and not much else. And this is where the game really starts to show itself to be a much more railroading experience than the first one. You only ever have one route open to you at a time, and really not much in the way of deviation. We have one door here. And since it's the only door, we're basically assured that everything we need to progress will be in there. In here, we have a note regarding some poisonous plants and how to deal with them, and at the save point store we find the very tool we need to do so, the flamethrower. And now, back the way we came.
Huh?
Dude, you're like Special Forces, check your surroundings. The fuck Special Forces training, look both ways before you cross the street.
Huh? Grab my hand.
We managed to capture one of the frisbee bikers, but get no answers to who they are or what they want, so yeah, back to what we were just doing. So now on our way out, we have to fight the little chompy boy. If you picked up their Dino file though, you should know that regular attacks do next to nothing, their heads being too armoured and constantly kept facing towards their prey. But they do have a major weakness. Fire! We have a flamethrower, so much easier. Taking a side route, we burn our way through the poisonous area. Take note of the super toxic gas mask required area for later, and we exit out into familiar territory. And soon enough, we're reunited with Dylan.
Hey, what took you so long?
We return to our ship with the girl from earlier, who remains uncooperative. Wait a minute, I've seen this before. Can't stop, won't stop. However, it turns out the ship's been sabotaged by someone. Or something. Except almost definitely a someone. I blame the cowboy. Never trust a grown man in a cowboy hat. And so it's off to find a replacement engine battery, sending us, now as Dylan, to the area we just came from. Oh wait, but first we get this weirdness. Hey. Let me boop the snoot. Anyway, we cut our way through this door, and once inside... Oh no! Spitty boys! The least intimidating enemy in the game. What? Dylan, what was that? You're supposed to be some big tough marine asshole and you flinched like someone frightened by a moth. Well, thanks to that, this starts what can easily be the most stress-inducing part of the game as we chase this little magpie bastard from room to room through the ventilation system. Fortunately, Steven knows what he's doing, so before even triggering Dylan's panic attack, I closed off all the unnecessary vents and managed to trap him pretty quick. With the key card back in our possession, we get into this room of horrors and, luckily for us, a starter battery for the ship's engine. Yay, back to the boat.
She's gone.
She gone. With the engine operational, we prepare to move the ship to a new area when...
Who have awoken us from our slumber?
Danger noodles! Now, as if this couldn't become any more of an arcade game, we get this delightful shooter segment, keeping the long boys away from the ship. A ridiculous number of long boys. But wait, gotta throw in some flappy boys too, because let's just have all the piscivores here. With that done, we arrive at the third energy facility, and here, can I just say how much I love the weapon variety in this game? Like, I know a multi-warhead homing missile launcher might be considered a bit much by some, but if the last scene's ridiculous levels of over the top didn't make it painfully obvious, we're not exactly here to not blow up dinosaurs with a multi-warhead homing missile launcher. While Dylan's death shield is still the most perfect weapon ever conceived, I personally like Regina's arsenal more. The dual-wielded SMGs are great fun, especially for dealing with multiple targets. And the LMG she gets here is... it's cathartic. Okay, how many of you guys are there? Like, seriously, this can't be a sustainable ecosystem. Frankly, I've got to be doing your species a favour right now. Hashtag Thanos was right. Having come to a dead end, we're forced to make the most pointless backtrack in this game to find a keycard dropped by this dead asshole somewhere back in the jungle area. Got it. And now back again. See, Dino Crisis 1 had backtracking for keys, passwords, fingerprints, blah 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 blah, but it was all part of that gameplay style. A pointless backtrek to an area we literally just came from, just to come running straight back again, isn't engaging. It's not a puzzle, it's just padding. Further driving home the lazy puzzles in this game is the very next section. On this single track walkway we pass a locked box. Alright, cull the local marine life population, get to the control tower. You got the key for the box. Oh, I wonder what it could be for. So back at the box we get a code and back to the tower again. Thanks for the totally pointless back and forth. At the very least it was a quick backtrack just outside and not, say, to the ground floor toilets in the first fucking game, but still. With this code we're able to take a lift to the underwater facility and once again, god damn these environments look nice. Yeah, pre-rendered, but damn it look good. As we turn on the power we gotta play whack-a-mole with the electrical circuit and then we unlock a diving suit. See, I don't like where this is going.
I never asked for this.
So now starts what could either be seen as a brilliantly unique or painful segment of the game. Indeed, 'tis a staple that all true classics must have, the underwater level.
Oh, Snappy Boy!
In its defense, this segment is much more than just a change in scenery. Platforming actually becomes a thing as you Iron Man suit around the place, while your weapons get restricted to a dart gun and a purchasable grenade launcher which is required to progress, so just buy it. I like the level of tension they actually managed to create here, with mosasaurs silently gliding towards you from any direction off screen, the subtle, audible changes in the currents as they get close being the only indicator. You know, I enjoyed this section more than I remembered it actually. Anyway, with that done, we take a surface elevator which dumps us out into the city docks.
Welcome back. How's the water?
I don't recommend the diving in this resort.
People died! Right as I'm about to question why Dylan and the ship are suddenly here and not, back where I left them, waiting for me to resurface, we're interrupted by a transmission from David, claiming he's found survivors. What? Who's David? The cowboy, of course. Jesus Christ, keep up, would you? So having retrieved an access card from a drowned corpse earlier, we gain access to the city perimeter. And on through the mandatory volcano segment, because this really has become a fucking Mario game at this point. Now, here I've got a disproportionate number of notes for this section, but since I'm trying to speed through this, let's get the obligatory "these things are wrong" out the way first and on to the actual gameplay. Starting positive, I praise the game for once again implementing a strategy beyond shoot it in the face for this new enemy type, and again rewarding players who actually found their Dino file with combat tips on what would otherwise be a massive pain in the ass. The anti-tank rifle can penetrate their armour, but it takes a few hits. More effectively, the chain mine can flip them upside down, exposing their soft, tender underbellies, while also being necessary for clearing boulders. And on that, we hit the major negative. I bought the chain mine, you have to even start this segment, got through most of the cave system, flipping assholes, finding secret passages, flipping more assholes. Soon I started to notice the rate of waddle boys was not decreasing, I'm still nowhere near the exit, and the chain mine only holds 20 bastard rounds by default, and that was starting to do me a very big concern. Now I don't think I was being wasteful with my shots, hell I was being outright economical, but when I'm not even out the first screen and I'm already down half my ammunition, there's a fucking issue. Long story short, I'm down to one shot with the chain mine left and I'm at a fork in the road. Well, there's David's mark on the right, we're supposed to be following these, so I guess that's the way I'm supposed to, it's a dead end. So guess what? Guess what Steven had to do? Right back to the last fucking save point to recharge the chain mine ammo. Most stressful spelunking experience of my life. Even worse than the fucking caves in Pokemon. Fucking Zubats. Zubats everywhere. Anyway, when we finally do escape, we meet up with Regina and get a short but interesting little co-op segment, with the two characters covering each other with artillery strikes as we try to get through this area. It's a cool moment where the two actually feel like a team, really for the first time in the game so far. We emerge from the other side to a lovely sight of dinosaurs and human corpses strewn all over the place as if this was the Battle of bloody Stalingrad. Yeah, no, seriously, why are dinosaurs throwing themselves at human fortifications as if this actually was a battle scenario? These are predatory animals. Killing the enemy isn't the objective, it's killing in order to survive. I brought this up earlier, but seriously, why is this ecosystem so goddamn fucked? In fact, I probably answered my own question right there. Predators have to throw themselves at whatever little prey is available because environmental pressures brought on by this ludicrously inflated competition of a near 100% predator, 0% prey ecosystem force these poor bastards to run at whatever mildly edible thing they come across. I wasn't joking when I said I was doing them a favour by killing them earlier. This actually is nature self-correcting a hyper-competitive food chain, killing off excess predators at a ridiculous rate. They all need to die, it's the only way they can live! Thanos did nothing wrong! Oh sweet Jesus, a fucking herbivore, life found a goddamn way. Anyway, we hijack a jeep to run from all our problems. I narrowly avoid my second death in 2 games, and off a cliff. Don't worry guys, the population's unsustainable, they'll be extinct within a generation! Or a Comanche attack helicopter. That works. But who's the pilot?
It's high noon.
Oh yeah, and dinosaurs are eating the city. We should probably do something about that.
These people were the only ones left. There aren't any survivors now.
Dude, you crashed a fucking helicopter, how is your spine not compressed?
So we failed. How could we let everyone die?
Look, we still have the mission to retrieve the data on third energy research.
Wow, Regina, we're standing amidst the blood-stained streets of an entire town and you're just gonna brush it off like, oh well, you win some, you lose some. Actually, that seems pretty in line with your character, never mind. Also, what the fuck are those? I really don't have much to say about this city segment. Honestly, aside from the grisly atmosphere, there's really nothing going on here. 2 sections, 1 building between them. It's really one of the bigger letdowns of the game as a whole. The one interesting plot point here is a journal entry mentioning the third energy data disk being sent to a missile silo, as the survivors are preparing a last resort to destroy the dinosaur territories outside the city. Noted. Anyway, tank section. Huh. A conveniently located and totally out of place gas mask. I'm sure this wasn't required purely for plot purposes, and oh look, a ninja! Shit! Ah, the old sidestep technique. Works every time. In highly specific circumstances. Where the other person is a fucking idiot. Anyway, time for character backstory.
My sister's necklace. This necklace belonged to my sister.
Really? Your sister's necklace? The necklace that belonged to your sister? Your sister who passed away and specifically owned this necklace, your sister's necklace?
Well, I was a very different person before I joined the army.
That's great. Back to backtracking with an awesome backing track. Using the gas mask to get into that toxic area we found earlier, we access the missile site and fight our way to the control room, where, just as the City Journal said, the disc is located. Searching the other computers here will give you something else though. The last Dino file in the game. There exists a dinosaur, much larger than T-Rex. There is nothing known about their attacking behaviour. This can mean one of two things. One is that no such dinosaur exists. Two is that every soldier who did encounter it disappeared without a trace. In any case, having found the disc, it's time to return to the ship. Oh, shit! I'm not saying anything yet. I'm not gonna spoil it. Not gonna spoil it. Just wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. Okay, so yeah, that was ridiculous. Big Chompy Boy is Giganotosaurus. So in reality, there is a debate over whether Giganotosaurus was larger than T-Rex, and by exactly how much. Certainly, of the Chompy Boys, he may well have been the chompiest. And no, don't talk to me about Spinosaurus, he's clearly a snappy boy of the family Snapaboidae, so don't even. But all I'm getting at is this: whatever the truth may have been, Gigas were not 30-foot kaiju, just saying. The fight outside triggers the emergency launch sequence, and in order to avoid being Dino Crisis 1 ending 2'd, into the silo we go. Okay, first of all, this music, fucking amazing. Secondly, this battle, fucking amazing. I have to say now, the boss battles in this game are such an improvement over, you know, that. The first game would have us statically shooting till a cutscene's triggered, or running in a circle waiting for QuickTime prompts, if even that. Here though, the player actually has some agency. We're active participants taking actions to secure victory. The game avoids the laughably non-threatening chases of old by giving this big bastard a ranged attack, with a roar that can knock you off your feet. You'll be running, dodging, and using heavy weapons to stall him till the last fuel line recharges, then boom, he's down. All this on top of a ticking clock and the best damn piece of music in the series. Sorry, I just really like this bit. Up to the top of the warhead in the nick of time, if 7.5 minutes to spare counts as the nick of time, we halt the launch. And now, everything's back to normal. Haven't actually mentioned this yet, but fucking hell, this game's cutscenes are gorgeous. We escape the burning building and meet up with Dylan and Gigantism Arms Cowboy.
Oh, give me a break, man! We're dead!
It's game over, man. It's game over.
As we attempt to flee downriver, we end up being stopped by a canal door.
Wait, there's a valve. Maybe we can open the gate manually.
Whoa! Let the men handle this. Let's go, bro.
Okay, have fun, try to get eaten. No, seriously, get fucking eaten. One arcade game later, we get the door open.
I rule!
Stop, please. What? Why do you run like that? Why a cowboy hat?
I'll save you, bro!
Why are you like this? What is wrong with you?
That's disgusting.
Dylan wakes somewhere downstream where the girl from earlier appears, signaling for him to follow. And now, escort mission. I know, but mission variety, whatever. We arrive at some facility unlike anything we've seen so far. And now, this is where things get strange, so I'll try to explain as best I can. We learn this is where the Frisbee ninjas have been coming from, and they're a separate group of humans who also came to this time and became trapped. According to the journal by someone called the Superintendent, the children of this group were sealed in life support pods as a last resort to save them. However, these pods, intended for dinosaurs, led to the human children effectively becoming rewired to now coexist and instinctively protect the dinosaurs while losing human reasoning and communication. We then read about something called the Noah's Ark Plan. It talks about the incident of the first game and describes an apocalyptically deteriorating space-time skew originating at a point in the Cretaceous period. And the outcome for the future of life on Earth itself looked pretty bad if the skew continued unchecked. With me so far? Okay, now let's get even more we catch up with the girl who turns on a holographic recording of the aforementioned superintendent.
Welcome, Lieutenant Morton.
A hologram? Well, how does he know my name?
Well, there's only one fucking way this is going. Surprise! It's Gale from the first game.
Stay here, Junior. Leave the guards to me.
No, it's Dylan from the future. So, in the year 2055, to prevent the Cretaceous time skew from prematurely wiping out the dinosaurs and totally knocking evolutionary history off course, humanity, having now perfected time travel, launched the Noah's Ark Plan to temporarily refuge the dinosaurs in another time. Somewhere with similar environments, where their presence will have no detrimental impact on the present. So, plot twist number 2, this isn't the Cretaceous period, it's 3 million years in the future! This group were supposed to oversee the plan, but shit went wrong, forcing future Dylan to try and save the children, including his daughter, Paula. Plot twist number 3, he's your father! Alright, this whole plot twist stuff really does my head in, like, how does time travel work in this universe? How do the humans know retroactively that their history is being changed from the past? Wouldn't it just, change? Are time skews like melting ice caps affect water levels, or Marty McFly fading because his mum wants to bang him? There's like a lag time in the cause and effect. Why the future? Why not send dinosaurs straight to right after the danger's passed? Why the middleman? I have so many questions, but whatever, just tell me how to get home, you save the dinosaurs hippie. The self-destruct timer activates because Helmet Guy's a dick, and just when things couldn't get any more endgame, it's your boy, slightly roasted and here to fuck up all your walkways. So, time for a rematch. This time we've got a weaponized satellite at our disposal, but we need to prepare it via the 3 terminals spread about this room. Would you stop whipping me with your snoot? Get to the main terminal, launch the attack, and well, yeah, that works. So, handheld version when?
Regina!
Okay, now you're pulling that shit. How did you get here? The place starts exploding, Paula ends up trapped, and ending cutscene. With the time gate ready to return us to the 21st century, Dylan tells Regina to go back without them.
But you have to go back by yourself. I won't leave.
With the third energy data disk, he tells her to come back for them at this exact moment once a perfect version of the time gate technology has been created. Reluctantly, she agrees, leaving him behind as everything does what everything always does in these games, blows the fuck up! Well, if the plan worked, she should be back here any second now. Any second now. Oh yeah. She was kind of a psycho, wasn't she? Ah, shit. And that was Dino Crisis 2. But wait, there's more, because we've just unlocked Arena Mode. Hey, it's our old buddies, Rick, Gale, Tank. How you guys been? Well, Sam will never forgive me if I don't do it, so... Gale, an intelligent agent of sort, a man with a heart of stone. What is it with Shinji Mikami and fucking acronyms, by the way? Stars, sort, trat. If it isn't clear, I love this game. Yes, it has problems. The change from horror to action is a little jarring, but it does the action well. Since doing this video, I think I've come to appreciate the original more for what it does brilliantly, and come to notice the major backsteps of this sequel. But it doesn't take away from the fact that it's just fun. I've played through Dino Crisis 2 more than any other game on the original PlayStation. It's like a movie you personally can rewatch again and again, no matter how many times you've seen it. It never gets old, never gets stale, and it's just a great time. You know, like Aliens. It's no use, the doors are sealed, the windows were barred while you were distracted, and I'm not letting this point go. Aliens, an action movie sequel to a claustrophobic horror film. This, an action-adventure sequel to a claustrophobic horror game. Aliens, female protagonist surviving the first movie returning to act as an advisor to a team of Marines sent to respond to a missing colony. This, female protagonist survivor returning from the first game to act as an advisor to a team of Marines sent to rescue a missing city. Aliens, Marines wiped out in the first assault by Xenomorph Horde, leaving only a handful of survivors. This, Marines wiped out in the first assault by a Velociraptor Horde, leaving only a handful of survivors. Aliens, blonde survivor girl with psychological issues has parental bond with the protagonist. This, blonde survivor girl with psychological issues has a parental bond with the protagonist. Aliens, last act reveal of an even bigger alien leading to a showdown and destruction of a nuclear power plant. This, last act reveal of an even bigger dinosaur leading to a showdown and destruction of a nuclear missile silo. Aliens, someone falls in water. Aliens, even bigger alien thought destroyed shows up during escape leading to final confrontation. This, even bigger dinosaur thought destroyed shows up during escape leading to final confrontation.
I say we take off and nuke the entire site from orbit. It's the only way to be sure.
Now what the fuck are we supposed to do? We're some real pretty shit now, man!
On the whole, I gave Dino Crisis 2 a score of 86 on the James Cameronograph of Aliens equivalents. Seriously, the only way they could have made it any more obvious was if they put the dinosaurs in space or something. No! No! Not yet! I can't! I don't have the strength! Please, can I get a buffer in here? Some padding, a spin-off, crossover, prequel, anything, please, first. Huh. Dino Stalker, or Gun Survivor 3 Dino Crisis in Japan, was a first-person light gun shooter released in 2002 for the PS2. And what the hell even is? Is it a sequel? Is it a spin-off? Is it even a part of this series? But since I've never actually played it myself, and I'm pretty sure it's totally non-canon, why even would I? Dino Stalker follows a World War II pilot who's transported to, and I'm already out. The most interesting thing this game does is actually reintroduce Paula and Dylan, kind of implying this is a follow-up to the last game. It also looks for a brief moment to be playing up the 3 million years in the future angle by showing what looks like the ruins of Manhattan.
You maniacs! You blew it up!
But of course, all interesting plot points are thrown out the window when it turns out, nope, not the future, you're actually in a weird, wacky hyperspace world. What? Where dinosaurs and shit from across time are here because the computer responsible for overseeing the Noah's Ark plan fucked up or something. Also, no explanation to how Paula is here, how Dylan's alive, or maybe not alive, I don't know. And also, gross and uncomfortable, get away from my daughter, you met her like 6 minutes ago, you 1940s creep. And that's basically all I got. Oh no, a shitty mobile game! Dino Crisis Dungeon and Chaos was another strange spin-off addition to the franchise. Understandably low-tech, being intended for mobile back in the days of the Nokia 2100, and this thing. So the gameplay is basically Arena with dinosaurs. The plot follows... So I guess we're done with padding now. So on 26th of June 2003, the third official installment was released on the original Xbox. And nothing else. A strange choice considering the series' placement on the original PlayStation, but in any case, it was for this reason that I have never actually played the game. And since I don't own an Xbox, guess I never will. So yeah, I guess that's pretty much the video. Thank you all very much for watching. I do hope you found this a bit interesting and entertaining at least, and...
Hi Stephen, your door's unlocked. Take this Xbox!
Why? Why would you do this?
Because, Stephen, I'm a cunt. Bye!
The game opens with a shot of Jupiter, and then text telling us we're at Jupiter because we're idiots apparently. In the year 2548, a Special Operations and Reconnaissance Team, or Capcom acronym number 32, was sent to investigate the sudden reappearance of the colony ship Ozymandias, which had been lost on its way to Alpha 2 some 300 years earlier.
Man, she's one big mama.
I immediately hate these characters. Unable to receive any transmission from the ship, a boarding party is deployed, followed immediately by the Ozymandias firing on their ships. Oh, by the way, Sam was here for like the first hour of me playing.
Can that just be the end now? We can play the credits.
Yes. After shooting starting for a bit, cardboard protagonist number 1 and somehow even more cardboard protagonist number 2 managed to upside down board the ship. Alright, here we go. So yeah, Dino Crisis 3 set 500 years in the future. In space. Let's just come to terms with that first before we continue, alright? We get a chance to try out the basic controls, including the jetpack, find another 4-letter acronym, and once ready, open the hangar door. McCoy! So, have we come to terms with Dino Crisis being in space now? Alright, good, because now this happens. Yeah, it's a mutant space dinosaur. Not sure how they didn't notice a giant space chompy boy standing right over them in the middle of an otherwise empty hangar, but an even more important question is, why is it doing the Jurassic Park roar? Is that even legal? He suddenly gets all sniffy paranoia boy, when suddenly... Oh no! Wormy boys!
That's disgusting.
The Wormy Boys go all chest burster just to hammer home the fact this really is just Alien now. And combat. Oh, and combat.
What's going on?
Well, my guy knows what to aim at, apparently. I don't. But as long as someone knows what the fuck they're doing. I've got an 11 kill streak and I haven't fucking seen what the fuck I'm aiming at! Right away, we see some of the biggest problems this game has. We've retained the combo-racking mob fights of the second game, our gun has unlimited ammo, removing that as an issue. But the problem here, and what will plague the rest of the game till the credits, is what the fuck am I aiming at? We escape before becoming immediately separated. And, oh no, Sparky Hammerhead boy! We fight and platform our way through this area. Yes, that's right, platform. And yes, it is as painful as you'd assume with a camera that never faces the required direction. Wait, this is not just where we started? No. No, it's not. Okay, that's fine. Because everything looks the same, and okay, they can teleport. Okay, we have a lot of game to get through, and I can tell you pretty confidently, this is most of it. Jumping around identical looking steel hallways with minimal indication of what you're supposed to be doing. There isn't even that much of a plot, really, for this supposed 10-hour long game. Which I did in 6. Not a complaint. So most of that time is just trying to navigate the terrible game world. Just so you know, we are going to be skipping a lot. The most interesting things that happen in the next hour were the worst reflection effect in all the land, not knowing this was a save point because why would I pushed a button that made the ship transform, and I had an encounter that almost made me quit the whole damn thing. Why?
Security system activated.
Why though? Oh, because we need to have Sparky Raptors. And you don't even target the one you fucking want, you know? How many is there?
Dinosaurs look so weird when they jump.
I am just about done. I think I'm fucking done. Coming back to the game like 3 weeks later, and after finding out I had no save data, because again, thanks for telling me these were the save points, I finally get through the eternally respawning Hammerhead Raptors, in what I would later discover would be a recurring game feature. Yay! You know, it wouldn't be so bad if you just held down trigger to shoot, instead of having to constantly tap A forever. I've been doing this for 4.5 minutes now! More abysmal environmental design and Dino files have made a return. Sort of. From these we find out those Hammerhead Raptors are named Arlgalls, the Wormy Boys are Rigels, and the Space Chompy Boy Australis. The astronomically versed among you might recognise these as being the names of stars, which seems appropriate, but these files also give us a clue as to what the fuck's actually going on, with clear genetic tampering going on with the primary stock listed for each creature. Unsurprisingly, Algols are velociraptors, Australis T-Rex, but intriguingly, wormy boys are derived from our big chumpy friend Giganotosaurus. Huh. Let's just file that away for now. Meanwhile, holy shit, how big is this fucking ship? After some puzzling and a lot of figuring out this mental map system, we bump into Captain Morpheus.
You alright? Where are the others?
Sonia is safe, but...
God damn, our guy's voice. We get an admittedly awesome cutscene, with the onboard AI launching countermeasures against the debris from our ship. Hilariously enough, a single screw hits the glass of the room we're in, and... with us suffocating, we cut to Sonia for the next part. Oh, this game does the dual protagonist thing too? No, she literally just exists to push one button. Teamwork! We do get the first of the 0G spacewalking segments with her, but with this camera and control scheme, I don't think that's a good thing. The camera once again fucks me about a bit, and now it's off to the bridge to meet the others. As we saw once earlier, the Ozymandias itself can transform, changing the map layout, and this sort of becomes a main puzzle of the game itself. To get to the bridge, we need to change the formation, but this requires more power, which requires access to the power station, which requires passage to the waste storage area, which requires this password. I'm not joking. And this formula is basically used for the entire game. Oh yay, another one of these inescapable respawning enemy segments. I wonder how long they'll keep respawning this time. My thumb has actual cramp. Having presumably done something, we return the way we came. But suddenly... oh, alright, boss fight time. It's not bad, per se. Pretty standard attack pattern with the added use of an electrical discharge attack because... space, I guess. The problem is, as it seems to constantly be in this game, the goddamn camera! Would it be too much for you to just let me see the guy I'm trying to fight? You do sometimes, for a few brief seconds. I can tell exactly where he is. Then the other 97% of the fight, I'm stuck looking at a fucking wall. Oh my god! Okay, he is taking a lot of damage. Wait, hold on a second. Limit breaker? Could it be? So with that done, we rearrange the ship and head to the bridge. I am skipping over so much painful platforming shit that I hope you appreciate that for every step I'm describing, there is about 18 sub-steps before it. We meet the others at the bridge and find out some stuff. Unsurprisingly, the colonization effort failed. About midway in their voyage from Earth to Alpha 2, undeflected cosmic rays hit the ship, slowly killing off the crew with radiation sickness. Though nobody on board would survive, the captain enacted a last resort to fulfill their dream of establishing humanity's first colony, by instructing Mother, the onboard AI, to clone new humans using the DNA of the crew, and... I don't know, whatever else you can find in the DNA bank, I guess. Not that any of our intrepid heroes figure out the obvious, but yes, this is why mutant dinosaur abominations.
More importantly, those prehistoric lizards. How did they get on this ship in the first place?
Oh my god, you poor innocent morons. Because the AI was told to bake a cake while having no sense or concept or taste. Human, dinosaur, or whatever else hybrids, because to a machine, 0.482% humans, human enough, right? But, I mean, ooh, what a mystery, I guess. Anyway, we're sent to investigate a life reading elsewhere on the ship, and this whole next area infuriates me so much, I don't even want to really talk about it. We get to the source of the reading and find a young woman standing in the middle of the hallway, looking like she better ask us to come play with her forever and ever.
Wait, don't go!
Clone or android, taking your bets now! She runs off into the storage module portion of the ship, and this is where Stephen broke. This is where Stephen wanted to, quote, punch this game in the face. I wanted to have a face so I can punch it. We have to reform the ship to get through this area, except there are 5 different modules moving clockwise and anti-clockwise with like a dozen different possible configurations, with no actual indication of what I'm trying to do or achieve, and I spent over an hour here, and oh boy, another endless wave of respawning hammerhead assholes. This section made me angry. Not frustrated, not, ooh, this is annoying, no, angry. Questioning the state of a world that allows such objectively terrible game design to exist, angry. I hated this. I loathed every second I spent going through these identical looking but slightly different each time modules, not knowing what I meant to be fucking doing. I said I didn't want to talk about this. Ironically enough, walking into a writhing nest of wormy boys was actually kind of a relief because it meant we'd made some goddamn progress in our lives. Oh boy, I'm sure this isn't a fucking nightmare factory of broken platform gameplay. Absolutely everything about these areas just seems designed to test patience. They do not work. This type of gameplay in this game does not work. I'm sorry. Please stop it. You're killing me, Dino Crisis 3. Am I over the platform? Am I not? I don't know. What is depth perception? We catch up to the girl and have to clear a room of hammerhead boys. Which sounds simple enough, except the game decides the onus is on you to go find them because they are all too busy dicking about somewhere else to bother with this fight. We follow her into the crew quarters and find out her name's Karen, the daughter of the ship's AI and robotics expert. Meanwhile on the bridge, Sonia and Morpheus find out, get this, they find out that the dinosaurs, you know, the mutant ones on the ship, they're actually made from people. Karen rightfully runs away from this idiocy, and Creepo McGee follows her into the holodeck, where we get some character back. Oh no. No, it's happening again.
You reminded me very much of my younger sister. Our parents died when we were still really young. I feel like I should protect you, like I should have protected my own sister. Disgust!
After hearing this cringe fest, the AI tries to fry his ass, which means guess whose time it is to shine. Outside maintenance protagonist saves dead sister protagonist, but also spots an escape shuttle further up the ship. The team hatch a plan to escape, and I'm stuck in another one of these fights. Yay. Now, did you think the last platforming segment was bad? Well, hold on here, butts, because here's the worst shit I have ever fucking seen. Turning off the fans on the ceiling, we have 80 seconds to get to the top of this room and out. Now, you know what's a great thing to include in a time-limited platforming section? A camera that changes angle the second you make a jump, forcing you in the opposite from intended direction every damn time. I am actually trying here. All I want to do is jump up one level. That is all. From the ground to the first platform. Why does this require 4 different camera cuts? I don't know. I'm not Liam Neeson jumping a fence. It's totally unnecessary. Needless to say, this was cancerous, but I feel I've been my feelings on this game's platforming clear, so moving on. We come to this spoopy laboratory to reroute power needed for a formation change, and then another boss fight. I'm pretty sure the only damage I took in this fight was from the fire I couldn't see, but maybe that makes sense since this boy's clearly an ankylosaurid and probably not all that interested in eating me. Karen shows up to be inappropriately clingy, and other than trying to deliberately sabotage us, I have no explanation for why she does this. But now comes what is probably, without a hint of irony, the coolest moment in the whole damn game. Hey Capcom, can I maybe play as Morpheus, please? He's clearly the coolest motherfucker in this whole game. Karen gets whacked, Morpheus keeps on showing us why he should have been the main protagonist, and it all ends in a grenade to the face. Whatever you think of the game itself, that was awesome. Anyway, Karen dies, and Android, we have a winner!
That explains how she survived on her own for 300 years.
The powers of deduction on show here today astonish. So we literally flip this entire module 90 degrees, which on one hand is an interesting idea, with every room now on its side, but in practice, it's this game we're talking about, so pain. We get another boss fight with Roly Boy, and it's okay. Map's a little cramped, and he's a bit too tanky and unthreatening for it to be particularly interesting, but We access the aft end of the ship and meet another Karen, which of course baffles our idiot protagonists. The AI built another one! It's not that fucking hard! And their objective gets updated to reach the mother core where human life signatures have been detected. Entering the power generation sector, we meet another enemy type. Ah! Harambe boys! And the next lot of game is focused on getting to the third energy reactor core. Oh, look at that! They actually tied it back to the rest of the series. That's literally the one and only time they'll do that. This one objective alone was hours of gameplay, so skipping to the point, we get into the reactor room where we find a pass card. Kinda thought all this was actually for a purpose, but nope, just padding. We get through a big locked door and then something.
The wasteland has claimed your life. Rest in peace, chosen one.
So after a couple hours to get through one door, we're effectively given another door immediately afterwards. Okay, what do we need? Energy core disruption, replacement required. Where can we get one? I don't want to play anymore! So all the way back to the start of the fucking game, zero-G'ing the whole fucking way along indistinguishable from each other fucking hallways, we hit, guess what? A locked door. So now we have a locked door within a mission to unlock a door, right after a mission to unlock a goddamn door! Were the devs told to make this game over a certain length and make a locked door was the only idea they ever had to pad shit out? Oh, what am I saying? They also had never-ending spawn rooms and pointless backtracks. But anyway, we get a 6-minute-long respawn room fight, and I actually had to take a break because my thumb had stopped functioning by the end of it. And then it's on through these eerily frosted-over versions of the starting areas. Doesn't change the fact this is all still one gigantic backtrack kick in the balls, but at least there is some kind of minimal effort design change. This better be the last time we see this entire section of the ship, just saying. After getting the power majigger, we return to the other end of the ship through thank fuck a cutscene. We install the replacement power thing to the reactor, and then things start fucking up as Mother ejects the entire front half of the ship.
Stop, don't come back.
The reactor room floods, and almost as if he's heard his one true calling, Spidey Waterboy shows up because a combination of platforming and boss fight was totally what this game needed. You bail on Spiny and meet the others in the new area in the ship's rear. Well, kinda just the ship at this point, as you watch it go ludicrous speed to Earth. We head on through the remainder of the ship to the AI core. Oh, but first we have this fucking monstrosity.
You have perished.
We reach the core, and almost as if this game's starting to feel sorry for this eternally baffled numbskull, Mother has to straight up walk him through step by step everything in her plan. With the Karen androids and the now final versions of the human hybrids that the androids are programmed to raise, and how Alpha 2 was too inhospitable, and so Earth was chosen as a suitable home for her new human race.
No matter how human they look, if they contain dinosaur DNA, they're not human. They're monsters!
Whoa, that's a little... I mean, compared to the primarily dinosaur-based side products we've seen till now, these look relatively human. Maybe human enough, you don't know. Who are you to judge, asshole? The room floods and we get probably the best fight in the game, as Spiny Waterboy returns to pick up where you left off. While functionally much the same as the other boss battles, the camera actually does tend to keep him in view, and it's a perfectly sized arena with more than enough space to keep good distance. His attacks consist of something else besides lightning, and he'll dive and re-emerge, gradually taking away chunks of the walkway. This one was okay. This fight is immediately followed up by a pretty bad one against Mother itself, and ends with the ship going to self-destruct. Because this is a Capcom game. Of course it would. Also, Android Existential Crisis. All three of us in tow, we make for the escape shuttle. By the way, remember how those tiny little wormy boys had Giganotosaurus DNA in them? Yeah, so say hello to Double Big Space Jumpy Boy! You thought Spiny Boy was the endgame boss? The Mother Core? Nah, it's this goddamn stretchy-necked hellspawn! And I gotta admit, I kinda love him. To try and save the guy she just met a few hours ago, Karen lures Double Big Space Jumpy Boy to the edge of the platform. Okay, what is the deal with Earth? Can't allow human dinosaurs, can't allow androids. Is Dino Crisis in the Blade Runner universe or something? Either way, both fall down the shaft. And all that's left is to reach the escape shuttle. After a third Space Jumpy Boy boss battle, we cut to Sonya as the escape hatch requires dual simultaneous operation on both sides of this area. And oh boy does this bit suck! You have 5 minutes to get through this confusing as fuck room full of never-ending hammerhead boys, and without a free moment to actually stop and assess the area, it took me a long ass time to notice the nondescript grey steel platform against the nondescript grey steel wall. Have I mentioned platforming fucking sucks in this, by the way? With the shuttle eventually free, it's a spacewalk to the elevator, ignore the Harambe boys, and ending cutscene. Did I say ending cutscene? Have you forgotten we're ripping off Alien? This fight's meh. For the final encounter, it's actually pretty dull. He walks slowly forward and then arbitrarily backwards again. It's in 0G, which is different, but it's way too linear compared to the open arenas of the other bosses. So at this point he's basically King Ghidorah, but that's cool. Just use up every last weapon you have on him, and eventually he will go down. What? What? What the hell is... I don't understand what's... What is going on? What just happened? So the alien queen gets spaced and our two heroes look down from space upon a grateful Earth, full of presumably android-hating xenophobes. The end. Oh, and his name was Patrick, by the way. Not that it fucking mattered. I have to admit, even with its ridiculous premise and failure to live up to or continue the previous games, I honestly would have thought it was okay. Some of its concepts could have been cool outside of a Dino Crisis game, which this really doesn't feel like. The cutscenes are pretty, the music is alright at times, and probably its strongest aspect is surprisingly the creature designs. I know the idea of dinosaur mutants is beyond stupid, but these actual designs I thought were pretty cool. Maybe if they weren't supposed to be literal dinosaurs and were just monsters in any other setting, they could work. Picture some of these in a Monster Hunter, or as alien wildlife in some other game series. But I say this game would have been okay, because as it stands, it's not! It's not okay! And it all stems from that fucking camera. I heard it was bad. I knew of the tales, but Jesus Christ, it almost single-handedly ruined the game. What might have been a 5 out of 10 in my estimation becomes a 2 because of how much this, along with its other sins of terrible control scheme and painful amounts of backtracking, destroyed an otherwise passable experience. Fuck this game, fuck myself for making me play it, and fuck it again for making me use the out of 10 scale. I never do that. That's how bad this was. I suppose the answer to what happened to this series might seem obvious given what we just ran through, but it might not be fair to blame the long-term absence of Dino Crisis on its third game alone. Fans, myself included, have been waiting for a continuation for Dino Crisis 2 for 18 years. But I don't think it was lack of interest from audience or developers that's been the problem. While researching this video, I actually found that there was a vastly different plan for Dino Crisis 3, supposed to continue the story of Regina and Dylan dealing with the time skew, bringing humans and dinosaurs into apocalyptic conflict in the modern day. Now, I won't sit here and claim that this would have been an automatic masterpiece just because it's not the Dino Crisis 3 we were given. Either way, in early development, Capcom opted to change the story, fearing that the image of a city under attack would be sensitive to American audiences following 9/11. And while I doubt anyone was really going to equate time-traveling dinosaurs with jihadi terrorists, you can at least understand a company choosing to play it safe, being hardly unique for the time. But here's the thing, as much as I disliked Dino Crisis 3, I'm not sure the game itself was enough to tank an otherwise pretty beloved series. Yeah, all issues I brought up and more aside, it still only garnered mediocre reviews. By comparison, how many Resident Evil games would Capcom churn out over the years to mediocre or negative reception? And yet how far would those games continue to go, and continue to deviate from their survival horror roots? Yeah. So why did the series disappear then? Well, I have an alternate theory. While zombies have stuck around as a genre for longer than preferable, the 90s dinosaur revival brought about by Jurassic Park and sparking Dino Crisis did decline for a while. Possibly the best example of this decline was the underwhelming Jurassic Park 3, which came out in 2001, right in the middle of Dino Crisis 3's early development cycle. Maybe the answer to where the series went then isn't just one mediocre entry. It might well have been a perception by Capcom at the time that dinosaurs just weren't lucrative anymore. Or maybe Dino Crisis 3 just sucked, I don't know. Whatever the facts were, Capcom had for years been pretty tight-lipped about what actually happened, and about any future plans for the series. And so much time's passed, it's maybe doubtful they ever will. Or is it? I've been hoping for a revival of some sort for these games for years. No few months have ever gone by where I don't check online for news of a sequel, a remake, reboot, something. And I know I'm not the only one, with petitions to Capcom and even fan projects to remake the original cropping up in recent years. It's maybe strange to think about given its relative obscurity nowadays, but there was a time when Dino Crisis was a title well known in the gaming mainstream. As the face of the franchise, Regina was often placed alongside characters like Jill Valentine and Lara Croft as an icon of badass female heroism. But while Croft and Valentine managed to permeate through the 90s gaming sphere into more mainstream popular culture, hell even movie adaptations, Regina and Dino Crisis has all but disappeared. Probably for the best in the case of movie adaptations, but while 2003 might have been the last we'd see of an actual Dino Crisis release, the series' legacy has continued over the years in some interesting ways. Even in the wake of the third game, Regina would appear as a playable character in 2005's Namco x Capcom. While it's certainly not canon, and I'm not going to do a full 45-minute discussing the plot of a game she only guest stars in, I gotta say it looks kind of awesome. Waifu Anime Opening Edition! Over the next decade, there'd be virtually no further mention of the series, with a Regina character skin in 2014's Dead Rising 3 being the only exception. But then suddenly, as recently as this year, Regina was added as a character in Capcom's, now shut down, Puzzle Fighter mobile game. That's interesting. A whole 15 years since the last game of the series, but okay, why not? Ever since the release of the brilliantly done remake of the original Resident Evil, and I say that as someone who doesn't even particularly like Resident Evil, my hopes for Dino Crisis getting a similar treatment were raised.
A second late, you would have fit nicely into a sandwich.
And while it still might have seemed like a pipe dream, there have been some rays of light recently. In March 2017, the Resi 7 producer said in an interview, "If you were to create Dino Crisis with modern gaming technology, it would be a really exciting prospect." Though he did deny any conversation going on at Capcom for such a remake at the time. Meanwhile, in December of the same year, a tweet from Capcom Studio One replying to a fan's request for them to remake the original 2 simply said, "If a lot of people wish," smiley face. Okay, not much to go on. But then throughout 2018, the out of nowhere Puzzle Fighter edition, then, literally 3 days before I write this, Capcom released an officially licensed Dino Crisis t-shirt. Just out of the blue, 19 years after the game's release. Total side note, but there is a serious lack of Dino Crisis merchandise. You got low quality Regina figures from the mid-2000s and that's basically it. I need more. Following the reveal of the Resident Evil 2 remake at E3, a Capcom interview broached the subject of remakes, with the company rep stating, "Regarding remakes and re-releases of titles in our back catalogue, we expect to explore these further with a variety of properties as part of our strategy to utilise our full library of IP. The full library of IP means remakes beyond just the Resident Evil games." Then, in a Metro interview in August, with both RE2 remake producer and director, the interviewer asks, "How far will you go? Do you remake Resident Evil 3 and so on afterwards? And Dino Crisis?" After laughing to themselves, the producer responds predictably with, "At the moment we are focused on finishing up Resident Evil 2, but as a company we've always had a direction of using our legacy and our existing masterpieces and trying to find ways to utilise those assets that we have to bring in new players who never discovered our games before." The interviewer responds, "That's very encouraging. But please do Dino Crisis next." Now, I admit I might just be getting my hopes up, but at the very least, it's safe to say Capcom are aware there is an interest in this series. And going back to my previous point, just as this series emerged from the success of Jurassic Park, The revival of that very franchise with 2015's Jurassic World may well have rejuvenated Dinomania in pop culture, if it ever really went away, that is. The gaming industry has seen successes in Ark Survival Evolved, Jurassic World Evolution, and Super Mario Odyssey? There's a chompy boy in that. So in my mind, any argument against there being an appetite for dinosaur media is sorely misinformed. At the same time as well, the horror genre itself has had a great few years, from Alien Isolation to the rebooted Resident Evil. 2019 will mark the 20th anniversary of Dino Crisis, and all I'm saying is, there's a vacant niche for dinosaur-themed survival horror. And maybe fluorescent red-haired protagonists. Wow, I've talked a lot. Awards time!
Whoa! Let the men handle this.
Oh, we have a number of nominations for this category. Grenade to the face Morpheus, the only even mildly interesting member of his team. Grown man in a cowboy hat with tumours for arms.
I rule!
Yeah, no. But this standout winner is Chip Hazard himself, Pappy Gale.
It's a Tyrannosaurus. I don't think so. Sounds bigger.
Both represent the pinnacle of chomp in their respective endgames. Now, one gave us a pretty engaging boss battle, two actually. The other gave us stretchy necks, and that. But at the end of the day, 3 chompers are better than 1. Anti-satellite attack, Don't Let Me Down, For the Missile Silo, and of course, Dino Crispo. All fantastic tracks that have been in my head ever since. And on that, I thank you very much for watching. I hope you did find this interesting and informative, or at the very least entertaining, and I hope to speak to you again in the future. Oh yeah, it's the end of October, ain't it? I guess this counts as my Halloween video then, right?
Spooky, scary skeleton.
Slashy boy, chompy boy, snippy boy, flappy boy, chunky boy, little chompy boy, spitty boy, snappy boy, waddle boy, long boy or danger noodle, horny boy, big chompy boy, wormy boy, roly boy, sparky hammerhead boy, Harambe boy, spiny water boy, space chompy boy, double big space chompy boy, triple big space chompy boy, cunt.
Dinosaurs on a spaceship.